إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. All praise due to Allah and His praise and blessings and peace be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, his companions and his followers until the day of judgment. I bear witness that Allah is the only one worthy of worship and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam his last and final messenger. My dear brothers and sisters, last week I talked about our Iman and an important fact about our Iman, that our Iman fluctuates, goes up and down, and it doesn't stay in the same level. And our faith and our belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, it is an article of belief that you believe in, but it is also, our Iman is made of actions, statements, and actions of the heart. The actions of the limbs and the actions of the heart and the statements that we make, the dhikr, the dua, the istighfar that we make, also part of Al-Iman. And as much as you do from the good deeds, as much as your Iman goes up. And as much as you miss from the obligations, as much as you commit sins, that Iman goes down. And the reality is that our Iman always going up and going down. Doesn't stay in the same level. So if it's not increasing, it's decreasing. And I want to make sure that we understand that it is a natural thing for this Iman to fluctuate. But what's so important for us to ensure that our Iman will not continuously dip or is not continuously going down. We make sure that we always, turn the tide and we go up with our Iman and increase and empower our Iman. Because the heart can be sick, but it's so dangerous when it became too sick, because that can lead to that your heart or your soul to be dead. And we talked about some manifestations last week, but today I would like to talk to you about, okay, if it is my Iman is weak, and I feel like my Iman and my heart is not filled with Iman as it should be, what should I do? How can I change? Number one of the things that you have to look at it are the reasons behind the weakness of your Iman. What are the reasons? What are the causes for your Iman to go down? Okay, so that is an important thing to look at and to examine. And people, by the way, I'm going to mention general points, but people are different. Some people, that there is a very particular thing that's causing for their Iman to go down. And sometimes these things are the good thing if these things are temporary. Like, for example, I'm going through depression, I'm going through, some psychological problem or some financial issues that making me unstable and you can't focus on my ibadah and my deen. I can understand that, it's a temporary thing. But what is so dangerous when your Iman is something that it continuous, that these reasons are not temporary. These reasons are something that you will continue have and you will continue deal with. Because that means the long term, it doesn't look like you will be up to pick it up. You pick your Iman up. So one of the things that I noticed, the reason for our Iman to goes down, our committed to ibadat to goes down. Number one, that so many times we don't think about the ajr when we do the ibadat. The ajr and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have for us is not something that we think about often. And I love when I read the stories of the early Muslim generations, when they want to stand up in the night to pray, and it is hard to leave the bed in the middle of the night or in the, before Fajr, and you're tired or it's cold or it is whatever, you went to bed late. He used to look at the bed and said, "You're so soft, you're so nice, but the beds of Jannah is better. What is waiting for me on the day of judgment is better." Yeah, it was hard for some of the Sahaba to walk in this heat. You can tell here in Texas how hot it is these days, Can you imagine in Medina, in the old days, people will walk for a long distance just to come to the masjid. And in Nabi Sallallahu, they said, "Ya Rasulullah, can we have a masjid next to us? It's kind of far." Okay? So The Prophet ﷺ told them what? قال بني سلمة دياركم تكتب آثاركم. Bani Salama, stay where you at. Allah reward you for each and every step you take. That's why Ibn Mas'ud, when he used to go to the masjid, he used to take baby steps to increase the number of steps, which increase the number of reward. A lot of people, the reason they do not commit and they kind of miss opportunities because they don't think of the ajr that is waiting for them if they do this ibadah. Another reason for Iman to go and to dip down, the motivation for Iman, أنا أسميه الحماس الأجوف, an empty, fake excitement. That he got so excited and for the deen, sometimes not for the right reasons. Even if it's not the right reason, but you should transfer that to the right reason. Like for example, there is people who will go to Iman and to full faith and full-fledged and start praying because his father died. Or he almost got an accident. That's a good thing, that it's a good reminder. But if that's what the only thing making you to pray, you're gonna dip very soon. If that's the only thing, I attend the scary talk and I was dreaming, had a bad dream about me being in Jahannam, then I start praying. And after a while, the reality will take over your dream. And you will go back. But what you need to do, if this has happened to you, an incident or an accident or something like that, motivated you and directed you to the right direction, take advantage and there is a right, good reasons behind your commitment to the deen. That's why these, not enough to have these strong reminders and stories and stuff. That's not enough. You need ilm, you need knowledge, you need commitment, you need ibadah, you need active worship, just not words and feelings. It's good as a starting point, but cannot keep you going. Another reason for the Iman to dip is when a person do not have a good company around him or her. When you surround yourself with people who don't care about salah, don't care about ibadah, don't care about religion, your Iman will go down. I was talking to a young man yesterday, and he told me that he missed Salat al-Asr and Salat al-Maghrib and Salat al-Isha. Why? He hang out with people that never reminded him of Salah. They got just distracted. So your Iman dipped because you missed 3 Salah. You make them up, inshallah, your Iman goes up high. But you have to be careful, very conscious of who you surround yourself with. And the worst part, if you surround yourself with family members who don't care for the deen, who don't care about salah, who don't care about what is right and what is wrong, and parent or family members who don't encourage you to give sadaqah, encourage you to do what is the right. And it's been reported from Tabarani that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, قال الولد محزنة مجبنة مجهلة مبخلة. That sometimes family members can be the reason for you to be stingy, not to give, ignorant because you didn't have time to learn. All your time going to just running after what? Majbana, make you scared or coward or can't take bold actions. Stand up for what is right because you worry who will take care of my family if something happened to me. Mahzana, also make you sad. If they don't do the right thing or they get sick or they die, cause sadness. One of the reasons for people, for their Iman to goes down, طول الأمل. نسأل الله العافية. قال علي رضي الله عنه أخوف ما أخاف عليكم طول الأمل. طول الأمل is when you expect to live very, very long life and you don't care about the akhirah. So all your focus about the dunya, not the akhirah. Because you have this long life. You procrastinate everything when it comes to the deen. Tawbah, inshallah later on. This good deed, later on. I still have time. I will make it up next year. Inshallah next Ramadan I'll do better. And basically this hope to live very long so you can make up or you can do good later on. Inshallah after 40 I will think about it. After marriage I will do this. That's one of the reasons for the Iman to be weak. Also another thing is not the company, also the place that you're in. The surrounding, the thing that surround you. And it could be your job, it could be your home, it could be your neighborhood, it could be, people you're living with. The environment has an impact on how it pushes you towards to do what is right or discourage you from doing that. And the next one is very relevant to us today. يعني الابتعاد عن الأجواء الإيمانية, that the person will be away from the gathering or the gathering that increase your iman. Instead of, if you don't come to the masjid very often, I can tell all of us impacted by this. That's why we have to work so hard from other areas to bring that iman back. Just walk into the masjid, just being in the masjid, you feel how your iman boosts. See, when you go to Mecca, if you've ever been to Mecca, made Umrah and Hajj, your iman just goes up. Go to Taraweeh, when the masjid filled with people, your iman goes automatically up. A place where, there is volunteer group helping the people, and there is like a good deeds done here, a charity work or volunteering work to do something good to people, your iman immediately, your faith and goes up. When you stay away, attending class, listening to lectures, but when you stay away from these, a gathering for reading Quran or recitation, when you don't have that anymore, your iman start dipping down. So because of we don't have Islamic schools, and your kids might not be able to attend, even in the fall, but hopefully will, inshallah. But if they can't go to Islamic schools, make sure that you're still connected with them online. Make sure that you connect with your community online, so you don't lose that 100%. And these are, ignorance, obviously, one of the reasons for people also their iman to dip down, because they don't know what's the sunnah to do when you wake up, when you go to sleep, when you enter the house, what sunnah al-duha is, what people don't know these things, so they don't do it. So obviously their iman will be low. The more you learn from sunnah al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the more you will be able to practice it, and the more your iman will goes up. As simple as Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, how rewarding this is. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase our iman and to strengthen our iman. أقول ما سمعتم واستغفر الله لي ولكم استغفروه. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده وبعد. Obviously, these causes that we mentioned, if you flip them, that will be the cause for your iman to goes up. So if you look at the reasons, the cause why your iman going down, you just flip them. So one of the things ignorant will be ilm. Knowledge will help you to increase your iman. Thinking about the reward will increase you to have iman. Surround yourself with good people will increase your iman, and so forth. So you just, these points that I mentioned earlier, you go to the other side of it. And one of the things that's also important to be mentioned here, الرفق بالنفس. One of the things that will help you to be consistent in your iman going up is to take things step by step. Don't rush. العلم إن هذا الدين متين فأوغلوا فيه برفق يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. This religion is so massive, so go in it and gentle. Study steps. Don't just shoot like, you can do extra things occasionally. That's fine. But you have to have a base, a consistent base that you go up in your ibadah. You shoot up high when there is opportunity. There is Ramadan, going camping with a group of people. There is a week of intensive, course. But, I learn a lot. But you have to have a consistent base of learning. You have to have a consistent base of reading Quran, a consistent base of salah, a consistent base of donations and sadaqah and so forth. That have to be exist. Beside that, and you have to be, taking gradually. And there is certain occasions, there's opportunity like the 10 days of the Hijjah coming, you put so much focus, you double your effort, because it's such a short period of time. Like Ramadan, the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and so forth. One of the things also important that you always think and know and realize how soon death is. How can it just comes in no time. And please make sure that you listen to my talk on the night last week and the week before when we talked about the book of Al-Zuhd and Al-Wara'. We talked specifically about this issue. live in this dunya as if you are, a traveler. And if you, Ibn Umar used to say, in the night, don't expect the morning. And that cutting that long hope in the dunya that you will be able to change. And no, go now, do now, act right now. Also make a lot of dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep your iman fresh, keep your iman strong. Always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one thing that you should ask Allah the most about is your heart. You always care for your heart. You ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as you can. Ya Rab, protect my heart, protect my iman. Ya Rab, protect my iman. Salaf, there is many statements of the early generation. They used to say, "Man lam yakhaf ala imanih salabahu Allahu al-iman." Many statements. Those who have no fear about their iman, they lose their iman at one point in their life. It's important too, because if you fear about it, there is fear, it means you care, you protect it. Also, one of the things that is important, قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم احرص على ما ينفعك. Care for what is beneficial to you. قال ابن القيم رحمه الله لطيفة جميلة جدا جدا جدا. Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned something very beautiful. He said, care for what benefits you. ينفعك, هذه الكاف, which is you. He didn't say صلى الله عليه وسلم care for what is beneficial. He said care for what benefits you. That's a big difference between the two. Because we are different. There is some of us, when they start attending a class, will boost their iman very high. And some of us will be sleeping. Some of us, to tell them read a book, is not the thing that read Quran, that's okay. But that's not my thing. But tell me, for example, help people, I will feel my iman goes so high. You tell me pray, I love praying. I will pray 2-3 hours, no problem. Other person, prayer is not his strength. Other people know siyam is their strength. They love fasting. So in Nabi Sallam said, see what is beneficial to you. What's the thing that have the most impact in your heart, and you care for it. You have to care for all the Sharia rules. It's not pick and you pick what you... No, you have to fulfill the obligations. But when it comes to the recommendation, to fada'il al-a'mal, to the extra, care for the thing that has the most impact in your heart. And that's so important, so beautiful to explore what the thing that will excite you the most in the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make sure there is nothing it called, I will, later on. Procrastination is something that you need to stop. At-taswif min jundi iblis, one of the best weapons Iblis used against us. Make sure that you balance your life between religion, deen, and dunya. Between the dunya, this life, and the next, and the akhirah. Balance your life. And make sure, balance your life, it doesn't mean 50-50. No, it means the majority of our life is dedicated for the akhirah. وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. It's not 50-50. It is the majority of my focus on the akhirah. And the dunya take less, way less than the akhirah. Because al-akhirah it was remains, but the dunya will not. And check, is this how you look, how is your daily life activity is. Make sure that you visit, graveyards, hospitals. Now hospital, I don't advise you to do that. Hopefully you don't go to the hospital. But just think about it, look at it online and see how people can get sick so often. That softens the heart, Make sure that you care for salah. As-salah boosts your iman in an amazing way. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال وهذه من ألطف الروايات وأحبها إلى قلبي. One of the beautiful narrations that I love so much. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم تحترقون ثم تصلون الظهر فتطهرون. Burned, you're burned. And when you've prayed dhuhr, you're purified. And you're burned. Burned by what? What's burning you? The sins and the ghafla and the heedless. Then when you pray, you get fresh. Like a fresh skin. And that's as-salah, what that make you that fresh iman, strong iman. Salah ala awwal waqti. Make sure that you always care to pray on the beginning of time. Stay away from sins. Care for your heart not to be filled with any negative feelings, hatreds, envy, and these negative feelings, keep it away from you. Make sure that you connect your heart with your tongue, that you will be always engaged in dhikrullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma inna ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. Ya Allah, help us to always remember you, to mention you, to love you, to fear you, to trust you, to depend on you. Ya Allah, we ask you to forgive our sins and to bless our Iman, to forgive our parents and to forgive the believing men and women. We ask you to help and to support and protect those who are on the front line fighting this pandemic. We ask you to bring a quick relief to our city, to our state, to our country, to the world from this pandemic, and to turn the outcome of it for the best of us. Ya Allah, we ask you to let those who rule us the best among us. Ya Allah, we ask you to guide us to be a merciful, blessed society. We ask you, Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, to protect us and our family and our community from all type of evilness. Allahumma ameen. Oh Allah, bless us with Iman, with faith, with Tawheed, with Sunnah, and let us hold into your deen until we die. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمؤمنات والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا، اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا، اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وقرابتنا وذوي أرحامنا ومن له حق وفضل علينا يا أرحم الراحمين. يا ربي يا ربي يا ذا الجلال والإكرام، أحسن ختامنا وأحسن عاقبتنا في الأمور كلها. اللهم احفظنا من بين أيدينا ومن خلفنا وعن أيماننا وعن شمائلنا ومن فوقنا، ونعوذ بعظمتك أن نغتال من تحتنا. نعوذ بكلماتك التامة من كل شيطان وهامة ومن كل عين لامة ومن كل شر أنت آخذ بناصيته يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم يا حي يا قيوم، اجعل عاقبة أمرنا في الأمور كلها إلى خير، واجعل مثوانا جنات النعيم يا أرحم الراحمين. ثقل ميزاننا ويسر حسابنا ويمن كتابنا وأعلي في الجنة درجاتنا واعمر قلوبنا وألسنتنا بذكرك وشكرك وطاعتك يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه، وقوموا للصلاة يرحمكم الله.